Hey YouTube family, it's your girl Cindy. Welcome back to my channel. On this channel, we break down relationship dynamics in real life and on TV. Check out my playlist in the description after this video. Today, I will be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 8. It's the housewarming episode, and these family and friends are coming through with sound advice, and I love it. Let's jump right in. So this week, we're going to get started with our explosive couple, Zach and Michaela. So Zach sits down with his friend Jerron and tells him that everything was going great. By everything, is he referring to the wedding night and the day after? Because once they touched down in Florida for the honeymoon and he revealed he had tested positive for C19, Michaela started to really show her true colors. So I'm kind of confused about everything is going great. He did tell his friend that he is seeing red flags, that he's nervous. He mentioned that Michaela had made it very clear to him to not wake her up in the morning. So that's why he had left without waking her up. But I think he could have, definitely sent a text or even left a note for her, although her reaction was just over the top anyway. He also told his friend that she wanted to cancel the housewarming and he was upset about that. And it sounded like she's a drama queen. His friend remained neutral and suggested that they figure out a way to deal with conflict because they do deal with conflict in different ways. Conflict will arise no matter what. Jerron mentions in his confessional that Zach has a fairy tale expectation about what marriage should be. And I noticed that when he was actually prepping for the wedding, talking about how everything is going to be perfect and da-da-da-da-da. But reality is setting in and he is not feeling what is going on. His friend encouraged him to be realistic and be patient with her. I can understand Zach's concerns because if she's already acting like this in the beginning, who's to say how she's going to act going forward? And they've already given us a snippet of Hurricane K in full effect. So I don't think Zach is going to stay with her. So Michaela changed her mind and decided that she would have the housewarming. Her friends came over to help her set up. Michaela brings up that communication is a problem for them. And she said, quote unquote, arguments have to happen. Now, when couples are able to effectively communicate with each other, they can actually avoid arguments. It's okay to disagree with your spouse, but fussing at each other and like name calling and doing all the extra stuff is just not necessary. Learning how to discuss the actual issue and compromise without attacking each other should be the goal when there's a disagreement. During the housewarming, Zach voices concerns to Michaela's friends, and one of her friends told him that she was very level-headed. Now, she may be level-headed, but she certainly needs to control her emotions. Zach recognizes that they have fundamental differences and he's just ready to take a step back. I can't say that I blame him, but at the same time, he also has to understand when it comes to being married, compromise and forgiveness is something that is going to be an ongoing thing. You shouldn't really hold things against your spouse, especially for the first time. He has told her how he felt, so he has to give her time to adjust and see how things will go going forward. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how things unfold for these two, but it's not looking good. Next, we have Bao and Johnny. Bao sat down with her guy friend and told him she basically panicked when she saw that Johnny was going to be her husband because she knew Johnny to be a party boy, a frat boy, but she recognizes that she's introverted, he's extroverted, he's open, and she's a bit guarded. So being matched with him makes sense, but she feels he's dismissive and that there is a disconnect, and I agree with her. Her friend did encourage her to be patient since Johnny hadn't been in a serious relationship in a long time, and now he probably feels a lot of pressure, so it's going to take him time to adjust. Bao told her friend how she can see when Johnny is deflated and he starts shutting down, which in turn affects their communication. Her friend explained that sometimes guys just withdraw, but it doesn't mean they aren't interested. But I don't know about that because Johnny did ghost her after all. So I'm not sure if he actually really is into her or what's happening. Bao is optimistic and wants to do all she can to make things work. But Johnny tends to dump his feelings and thoughts on Bao, but isn't interested in hearing what she has to say, which comes across very selfish. So they had a conversation about their group meetups, which I will touch on in a few. And he basically dumped his stuff on her and went to sleep. He expects her to carry his thoughts and feelings, but then he shows no interest in what she has to say. Johnny is overly critical. He's coming across very self-centered, and he's searching for perfection, which is just not going to happen. When he transferred his bad, unpleasant feelings onto Bao, that was really upsetting because it was like he was feeling bad, so he wanted her to feel bad, and then he just went to sleep. And I was just kind of like, oh no. I don't know how Bao was able to just accept that he was going to bed. I would have been like, no, you need to sit up because you just dropped a bomb on me and you can't just go to bed now. Like, we have to talk. And I can see that Bao is really trying. She doesn't want to rock the boat, but she needs to speak up for herself and not let Johnny run over her. They didn't show them having another conversation where Bao is really expressing how she feels about what he said. Bao is hopeful, but Johnny concerns me at this point, and I'm just not sure what's going to happen with these two. I was really rooting for them, but Johnny seems like he is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Johnny definitely needs counseling to work on his issues, but I mean, I do hope that they are able to work out their differences. Next, we have Gil and Mirla. So, they dive into their finances, and Gil confirms he and Mirla are in different tax brackets, aka she makes more money than him. And I'm noticing that he says certain things don't bother him, but he continues to bring it up over and over, like Mirla's spending and her not kissing him, which is interesting and annoying at the same time because he tries to say it in a joking manner, but he's really serious about some of the things that he's talking about because he's pretty much telling anybody that will listen their problems, and he's just like doing the most. And he's operating from a poor man's mindset. It's like he's trying to bring her down to his level. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being a firefighter, but he really needs to stop counting her coins. And she actually checked him in this episode. She let him know that yes, she likes to shop, but she doesn't carry debt. She pays off her credit cards each month. And I was like, yes, girl, let him know, because he keeps coming at her about her spending her money. And yeah, it might seem like she's materialistic and that she cares about certain things, but everybody cares about different things. And I think he needs to kind of back off with coming at her about her spending her own money. I think most men who have wives that make more money than them feel some type of way, and sometimes that can lead to jealousy and like resentment. So I'm a little concerned about how he continues to go after her about her spending. But anyway, during their housewarming, there were 2 good points made. They spoke about having attraction versus connection, and that connection is, you know, a deeper feeling. And also the principle of being considerate of each other. I don't think Mirla is necessarily attracted to Gil, but I think she's trying to create a connection with him. So she's moving at a very slow pace. Gil wants to feel like she considers him. She seems to be firm about what she is going to do versus what she will not do. And that inability to consider compromising is a red flag. I feel like this is going to be an epic fail. These two are not equally yoked. They are complete opposites, and I don't think the experts should have matched them at all. Next, we have Jose and Rachel. Jose is an overthinker, and he is not very open-minded. He likes to dominate, and it's coming across as being controlling. He was kind of saying no to all of the plants that Rachel was picking, and he just has this complex like, I'm always right, or I'm perfect, or like what I say should go, and he really needs to work on that. During the housewarming, one of the friends actually said, you know, no one is really right or wrong. It's about working together and compromising, but Jose just wants to be right, it feels like. There shouldn't be an issue with having a joint account along with separate individual accounts. So I hope that he will let that go, because obviously Rachel does not want just one account. He was very dismissive about Rachel wanting to travel. And then the stepmom told Rachel not to give up all of her control. But I think that the stepmom is a bit of a flip-flopper, because she needed to keep that same energy when Jose brought out the whiteboard to show off to everybody how he's so organized and how he saves and how he does this, that, and the third. Despite the back and forth about the finances and what types of trips these two are going to take, I do feel like they can make it. Jose just needs to relax and live a little. And lastly, we have Ryan and Brett. I don't have much to say about them. Ryan continues to confuse me. In one breath, he's saying that he's in a high stress situation in his confessional, but then he tells his friend Fernando everything is easy. I mean, which one is it, Ryan? I just don't know. And once again, he says that she comes across high stress and high anxiety. What am I missing? Is that what you guys are seeing with Brett? Because I don't see that. I feel like Brett is open-minded and she's willing to do things outside of her comfort zone. She's pretty much a good sport, so I'm not sure why Ryan keeps saying that she's like so high stress and high anxiety. She might voice her concerns and her fears, but comment below and let me know what your thoughts are about Brett. And let me know if I'm missing something, because I just don't understand why he keeps referring to her as such. Now, the guys and the women had gotten together in groups, and the guys actually opened up more about the details of their marriage than the women did. The guys were honest. Ryan, Gil, and Johnny talked about feeling like they're in somewhat of a friend zone area. Johnny had a meltdown, and all I can think is he needs therapy. He's got a lot of issues that he needs to work through. He's got commitment issues, abandonment issues. He did mention that he doesn't think that he was ready for marriage, and I agree. His mind is kind of all over the place, and he's up and down. One minute he's okay, the next minute he's like freaking out and saying how, you know, he doesn't think that this is gonna work out, which is unfair to Bao. So I don't know. It was interesting though. Michaela didn't tell the ladies about the argument her and Zach had. I think she knows. They would have probably told her that she overreacted. And I wonder if she will have the capacity to self-correct. Sidebar, Gil just talks too much. He was probably the only husband that went back and told his wife about all that was happening, what the guys were talking about. He was letting Mirla know that Bao and Johnny are having some serious issues, and he thinks that Johnny is settling. And I was thinking, Gil, you need to mind your business and worry about why your wife doesn't want to kiss you. How about you get to the bottom of that, sir? He just talks too much. He's always bringing up stuff. He's always like the first one to say something, and he just needs to relax. This is a crazy season. I'm not sure what's going to happen with all of these couples. I think at this point, the only couple that have a chance at staying together are Jose and Rachel, but who knows? Join me here next week. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.